So this is our shore excursion on the Ancient Alien Cruise 2014. We've just arrived at Tulum. Scorching heat here, extreme humidity. We've already seen some incredible wildlife here, some snakes, some sort of bluebirds and some iguanas. And now we're just on our way in to see the ruins.
So here we are at the Mayan ruins of Tulum. Fantastic time on the Ancient Alien Cruise with Hugh and Dr. Shock and David Hatcher Childress. I look like I'm in the jungle right now and it's just incredible. I'm right here in my element, loving it every moment.
Just going through one of the small tunnels at Tulum. Just heading into the main site here and just into the main complex. Here's the first temple we come across.
Let me give you guys a little bit of an alternate history here. And that has a little bit to do with this being a port city and the idea that the Mayans were all isolated. And the mystery of the Toltecs, okay, who are famous for fighting and creating Chichen Itza. But it was who were the Toltecs? And in fact, at Chichen Itza, and their capital was Tula, north of Mexico City. But the Toltecs are also depicted as having heavy mustaches and stuff. And that a lot of people surmise it has to do with the Punic Wars. When the Punic Wars between Rome and Carthage occurred around 200 BC, and that's Hannibal going over the Alps with elephants and they're attacking Rome. And the Punic Wars went on for hundreds of years, actually. There was like 3 of them. But at the end of the Punic Wars, Rome won, and they went to Carthage and they destroyed it and they salted the earth and all that to make sure that the Phoenicians weren't coming back. And at that time, the Phoenicians had a huge navy, and they allegedly at that time controlled the transatlantic trade. And they had also ports in Morocco, like Lixus, which is a megalithic port. So it's thought that the Phoenician fleet then fled the Mediterranean and came here to the Yucatan. Yeah, and even Tulum might have been built by them. And so then there were these wars here in the Yucatan, and basically the Phoenicians, Carthaginians became the Toltecs. Okay, I know this is not your official history, but this is
it is.
Yeah, this is the, you know, and it's the whole thing of the difference with archaeologists and historians of isolationists versus diffusionists, and whether oceans are highways or barriers. Okay, we're often taught, oh, oceans are barriers. You know, ancient people can't get in a boat and go across the Atlantic or something until Columbus did it. You know, some Vikings will allow them to make some voyages in the north or something. But the flip side of that is that oceans are really highways, not barriers. And in fact, that's the easy way to go somewhere rather than to walk everywhere, get into a boat, okay. And so during that time, the Phoenicians controlled the transatlantic trade. They had ports in Spain and Morocco, like I'm saying, like that. But the Phoenicians disappear from history, really, after the Punic Wars. But the idea is they came here. And those wars continued over here. And even the Romans followed them here. And you have Romans, and you have even Jewish settlements coming to the Americas. And they have found Roman coins. There was a famous archaeologist from Harvard. He was from New Zealand originally. His name was Barry Fell. And some of you guys might know this, he wrote books in the 80s, Saga America, America BC. But his books were all about finding Roman coins and Phoenician things and other people, you know, here in Mexico and in the Southwest and around the Caribbean, around the Gulf of Mexico and stuff like that.
There was a case about a Roman coin, but actually they discovered there wasn't a colonial burial. So it's possible that this Spanish brought that coin from Europe during his journey.
It's possible. They found other
polemics, no?
Okay, they found other caches of Roman coins here. And here's another interesting thing like that is the Phoenicians were known as the purple people, and it's the purple dress and the purple robes come from them. And that comes from a special seashell dye.
Nudibranch.
Okay, yeah, but the Mayans did that too. But the Phoenicians kept that as a secret. It was a secret method of extracting the purple dye from this one.
From nudibranch.
Yeah, okay. But the Mayans had that secret too. And they did it as well. And so that was, right?
Adding to that about color, when the British Crown stopped piracy and protecting corsaries, they offered them a business. There is a tree here that grows close to the rivers, close to the bays, called Tinto. Before the Industrial Revolution, these guys became businessmen like Mr. Wallace, the founder of Belize, who abandoned piracy and started taking wood into England to extract the sap to use to dye colors like the purple, like the red. Mm-hmm. You know? So mostly the purple was very common here.
And that's kind of how Belize actually became British, was because of the forest, and they started logging there and started the mahogany
and the Tinto tree.
Yeah, one other thing that David had said that reminded me a little bit of some things was he was talking about how the different colors on the pyramids, and yellow was south and stuff like that. That's also a Chinese Taoist thing. And the pyramids in China, they would also, like Mayan pyramids, the south face would be yellow. Each face is a different color. All
yellow
right?
is because the longest day is in the drought or in the summer solstice. The white is shows always on north because the cold. The black on the west because after sun darkness come, and red on the east because that's where life starts.
Are there some beers on the bus?
There were.
Some beers? Oh, let's get back now.
We just finished a great shore excursion at the ruins of Tulum. I appreciate everyone coming along there, and maybe we'll see you next time on the next Ancient Alien Cruise.
Huge keystone cuts here. So you're going to pour these liquid metals into these slots, and there'll be a big metal clamp there. So you get up there. There's two kinds of Sumerian writing on the Fuente Magna Bowl. There's Sumerian cuneiform, which is this part over here, and then there's this proto-hieroglyphic writing too that Sumerians also used.
Newspaper reports and the like are probably hoaxes. Clearly, some of them are not, and there is a case being made for beings of large stature that have existed. Now, what were they? This is a interpretation, an artistic rendering of the Cherokee god of the hunt, Sukalu. Now, please don't confuse him with Sukalos.
And these beautiful relief carvings again. You can't help it. It's just everyone notices that just looks like a Göbekli Tepe. You can't. It's a no-brainer. It looks like it. If it's a coincidence, we don't know. But I think there's connections here. And they're actually on this alignment. It's 2,500 long mile alignment with hundreds of sites dedicated to St. Michael and Apollo.